Good evening and welcome to the June 25th, 2026 meeting of the Yorktown Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is John Meisterich. I chair the board. With me tonight are Michael Romberon, Anthony Altamari, Tony Tripodi, Bill Gregory, our town attorney, David Chen, our legal assistant, Nisreen Corey, and our building inspector, Steve Freyette, is in the front row. Before we even start the meeting, I just want to acknowledge Tony Tripodi. He is retiring from the board, and wish him well and thank him for his many, many years of volunteer service to the town of Yorktown. Thank you. Okay, so our first order of business tonight is to approve our May 28th minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from May 28th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we'll do a little setting up of the next meeting. If you're here under what's called new business, these dates are important. Our meeting is August 13th, which is earlier in August than normal. We don't have a meeting in July, so we put the meeting for August slightly early in the month. If I set down for a site visit, that will be on August 8th. It's a Saturday before the meeting. We try to go together as a board. We leave around 9:30 from the southern part of town and work our way northward. If you have a variance, ideally, if you don't necessarily have to be there. Everything we do would be outside, but if anything's marked off with flags for property, where the addition or build would go, that would be helpful. We do normally knock on the door to see if anyone's home. So if you are home, you can certainly walk us through by pointing at the property. So if you are set down for a public hearing, you will have to send out mailings. Those mailings must be dated between July 20th and July 29th. It's a certificate of mailing, and the forms that you send, it's basically explaining to the neighbors what the variance or the application that you have before us is for. That's sent certificate of mailing, and you can get a list of who to send it to in the assessor's office. You also have to pick up a sign from the building department and place it on your property. You'll have to provide before the meeting a picture of the sign and an affidavit saying that the sign was done, along with a copy of what you're sending to the neighbors. So any questions on that, call the building department and ask for Nisreen. She will gladly help you. Okay, so we can move on to our agenda. New business, Sansi. If anyone's here on it, just come on up to the podium. This is a application at 2832 Meadowcrest Drive for a variance to legalize a chicken coop on a lot size of 20,000 square feet, where 40,000 square feet is required. And it's also an application for a special use permit to allow the chickens. So I will make a motion to set this down for a site visit on August 8th, a referral to the building department, and a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Fremont. This is a renewal for an accessory apartment at 1420 Mohawk Road. I will make a motion to handle this administratively, refer to the building department, and set it down for a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Frey? Present. You can come up to the podium if you'd like. This is an application at 1743 Payne Street to legalize a shed that requires a variance for rear yard setback of 4 feet where 10 feet and a side yard setback of 3.5 feet where 10 feet is required. Maybe you could come up to the podium. Again, that's 1734 Payne Street. So we were looking at the plans. Are you the architect or the owner?
I'm the owner,
Okay. So what's your name?
Steve Fry.
Okay. When we were looking at the survey, it looks more like 2.8 feet and 5.6 feet.
It was a rough estimate by me. I've lived
Okay.
there for 32 years.
Yeah.
There was a shed there, but way back when, there's like a square location of where it is. We replaced that shed, and I just want to make sure that I'm in
Okay.
a good
So
spot.
we kind of go by the survey that's provided, so we'll go out and look at it and whatnot, and we may adjust the variance to 2.8 and 5.6 instead of 3.5 and 4, okay? So I will make a motion to refer this to the building department, set it down for a site visit on August 8th and a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
right,
so
thanks,
we'll
guys.
see potentially on the 8th, if not the 13th. Grow with Grace. This is an application for a special use permit for a new daycare facility, Grow with Grace, at 2405 Crampon Road, pursuant to the town zoning code. The property is an R120 zoning district. A previous planning board approval was granted for school use. However, that project was never established. So what I'm going to do on this one is refer to the planning board, refer to the building department, refer to the fire inspector. And basically, I don't know if the person will see the minutes or the video from this meeting, but whether it was approved in the past, you know, we'd have to let the planning board review to see if there's new proposed changes or any differences in what was approved. So that referral, if we could get the old decision, I guess somehow. Okay, so I'll make a motion for those referrals and the site visit on August 8th and the public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Bunjaj. This is a renewal for an accessory at 1786 Wiley Road. I will make a motion to handle this administratively, refer to building, and a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Maldonado. This is a application to legalize a chicken coop that requires a special permit at 3545 Buckhorn Street. Again, we reviewed the survey on this. Is anyone here at Maldonado? There is a wetland scenario in this property, so what I'm going to do is refer this, make a motion to refer to building, refer to the town engineer for an assessment on wetlands permit issues, set it down for a site visit on August 8th and a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Reyes? Feel free to come up. This is a application to allow a 6.5-foot wood fence in the front yard where 4.5 is allowed at 1727 Amazon Road.
Got a correction. It's actually 8 by 6 though. I provide a receipt over there of the fence. It's 8 long by 6 tall.
So normally the posts are a few inches higher, so we add 6 inches to account for the posts or a little unevenness in the fence. So the panels are usually 6, but the posts go a little higher, so we just kind of standardly go to 6.5. I assume that's acceptable to you because if we went out and measured, it probably would come out at 6.5 feet.
Probably, but they sit on the ground, so
Yeah.
that's why.
Well, we can, let's set it down the way it is now. I'll make a motion to set this down for a site visit on the 8th. I'll refer it to the building inspector. He's gonna come. So if it's 6, it's 6. That'd be fine. And a public hearing on the 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll come, we'll look at it, we'll figure out whether it's 6 or 6.5, and we'll get it right.
Okay, I got a question though.
Sure.
You still got 5 panels to remove the older fencing. Can I do that or have to wait for,
Why do you have to remove it? You're,
I like to, I'm renewing whatever is not good anymore, so,
We can't tell you to
Yeah.
to continue.
okay,
We can't.
fine,
yeah. That's a personal decision.
okay.
See ya. Cantassini. This is an application to construct an addition that requires a front yard setback of 39 feet to the house and 46 feet to the front porch, where 50 feet is required, and a rear yard setback of 40 feet where 50 is required at 2148 Greenwood Street.
Yes.
So just in reading that, 39 to the house and 46 to the porch, usually it's the opposite.
Yeah, I think someone might have reversed the numbers.
Okay,
I'll switch it.
yeah.
There's also a spelling error for my exotic name.
Okay.
Okay, I'll correct it.
So we'll get that corrected. So so it's an application to construct an addition that requires a front yard setback of 46 feet to the house and 39 feet to the front porch where 50 feet is required.
Correct.
And a rear yard setback of 40 where 50 is required. So I will make a motion to refer this to the building department. We'll set it down for a site visit on August 8th, a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we'll see you potentially on the 8th, and Steve will come out as well, separately from us.
Great.
Thank you. Restiano. This is an application to construct a front porch addition that requires a front yard setback of 26.8 feet where 30 feet is allowed, where 30 feet is required. At 1633 Hanover Street. So I will make a motion to set this down for a site visit on the 8th, refer to the building department, and a public hearing on the 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bolfamonte. This is an application to amend an existing permit to add a front porch addition that requires a front yard setback of 35.1 where 40 feet is required. At 3298 Poplar Street. So I'll make a motion to refer this to the building department, set it down for a site visit on August 8th and a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Gelman. This is an application for a renewal of an accessory apartment at 1881 Morning View. I will make a motion to handle this administratively, refer it to the building department, and a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carpino. This is an application to construct an accessory structure, a gazebo, with a side yard setback of 7.4 feet where 10 feet is required at 1145 Glen Road. I will make a motion to refer this to the building department, set it down for a site visit on August 8th and a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Watson. This is an application seeking variances to construct an addition that requires a side yard setback of 23.3 feet where 50 feet is required and a rear yard setback of 70.1 feet where 75 feet is required. A previous variance was granted in the past, so we'll try to pull those up. I will make a motion to refer this to the building department, set it down for a site visit on August 8th and a public hearing on August 13th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So I'll move on to our adjourned agenda, Pasantes. Is anyone here on that? So that was a a solar ground-mounted system, and we had adjourned that last month and sent the applicant to the planning board. So since they are not here, I will make a motion to adjourn this to our August meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we have a couple of, now we're at the public hearing section of the agenda. I will skip the renewals and we'll do those at the end. So we're going to go to Mackenzie. Is anyone here on Mackenzie? I think so. This is an application for a building permit to legalize a deck that requires a variance for side yard setback of 7.81. I'm going to read the agenda, but we'll talk about this, where 10 feet is required at 2942 Manor Street. Good evening, and state your name for the record.
Hello, I'm David Tetro, the architect representing Ms. McKenzie for the deck legalization project.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's a reconstruction.
So, let's see what we got. I'm going to read some memos well, you can just tell us briefly. It says it's legalized, so is it existing or is it new?
Well, there's an existing deck there that she's reconstructing in kind.
Okay.
And the house is skewed to the property line. It's not parallel with it.
Right.
So we were trying to figure out a way of maybe stepping the deck in plan so that we're missing the setbacks. So she didn't want to deal with having the back edge of the deck to be kind of like a zigzag sawtooth kind of pattern. So we kind of just kept it the same size, and here we are.
Okay. So we have a memo from the building inspector, Steve Fraietta, June 18th. It's an application for a building permit to legalize a deck with a rear yard setback of 7.81 feet, where 10 feet is required per section of the zoning code. I've inspected this property on June 18th and have no objections to granting the relief. So we looked at the plan. That's a survey, I guess. It's similar. Just yeah. So when we look at corner properties, we, as a zoning board, see this quite frequently. Even though the house probably has a front door on Manor Street, and Fairfield Court is probably what the homeowner would consider the side.
Correct.
To have ever built this dwelling in any kind of compliance, the setbacks would say that Fairfield is the front, Manor is one of the sides, and because to get 40 feet in the rear yard, you have to go the side behind Fairfield to the property line. If you went Manor to the rear property line, that setback where that deck is, the house would only be like 15, 20 feet from the property line.
Correct.
And 15 is required in the side yard. So kind of by definitional interpretation in zoning, the house that has 15 to 20 feet, it's not on this plan, may say, let's say 20, that would have had to have been a side yard to conform, not a rear yard. So, not to belabor this too much, but that causes this deck to be needing to conform to the side yard setback of 15 feet. And I don't really feel that's a big issue in this case in any way, shape, or form, but I think we just want to try to get the variances as accurate
Sure.
as possible. So I will ask if anyone in the audience has any comments on this application. So we'll make the determination that this deck is in a side yard and requires, I'll make a motion to make a determination that this deck is in the side yard and requires a setback of 15 feet. So I'll amend this application for the variance as a setback of 7.8 feet where 15 feet is required. So I'll make a motion to approve that variance. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, I'll make the yard determination.
Yeah, if we
I'll
could
clarify that
I
on
mean, it's
the-
one of
this
those
one.
things that will come up from time to time in this applicant's future plans.
Mhm.
So if we can somehow, I mean, we'll probably always catch it, but, you know, you can explain to the applicant that for the purposes of zoning, that's your side yard, and I don't think it's gonna matter too much. But
Will they just correct the drawing?
well, the drawing doesn't depict the yard, doesn't say side yard,
Okay.
front yard.
Yep.
Well, my site plan does, but I'll update it
Yeah, you
to
can do
match.
That would help.
That way in the future when we go back to it.
Yeah, this way it's
Correct.
clean on the record and nobody
Yeah.
pulls it out 10 years from now and looks at it and goes, oh, this is.
Yeah,
Right,
if you
right.
can change it and bring a copy of it in so that
Sure.
we can put it in the file.
Sure. I'll bring an extra copy in when we file for the permit. Or do you want it before?
No, you
Okay.
can bring it with you when you file for the permit.
Perfect, okay.
Fine.
Okay, so we can move on to Tomy. This is an application to construct an addition. Is anyone here on, I may be mispronouncing it.
Steve again.
Tomy? 2890 Boston Road? I'm so sorry. Are you,
I'm
Oh,
here. If it-
geez,
I
I'm
got another
sorry.
one after this too.
I was wondering, I was gonna have to do something like that. Okay, this is an application for a building permit to construct an addition that requires a variance for rear yard. Uh-oh, are we gonna have the same thing? Rear
No.
yard setback
No.
of 37.9 where 40 is required at 2890 Boston Road. So again, please state your name for the record and a brief description of what we got.
Okay, so David Tetro, architect representing Mr. Toomey for several additions on the project. Front
That's the easiest.
portico, a bedroom expansion, kitchen, dining room expansion. The variance is for a small corner of the kitchen addition off the rear, where we're kind of clipping, the rear property line is on an angle to the house.
Yeah.
So we have a very small kind of triangle of space that we're impeding on the rear property line.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it here, the paper copy, and it's probably on that. And I see it's a very tiny, it's not a big number to begin with, but just as a verbal description to anyone here, it's a very, very slight encroachment into the setback.
Correct.
So let me just see if there's any memos here. Which I'm sure there
Is
are.
that the only corner? Is that the only spot?
Yes.
You can take a look.
there.
Yeah. Do you want to see this? Because you
Yeah,
might not
I
be
could
able to
just-
see it that well. Okay, so I have a memo from Steve Frayetta, June 18th. This is an application for a building permit to construct an addition that requires a rear yard variance for a setback of 37.9 where 40 is required. I have inspected this property on June 18th and no objections to granting relief. Anyone in the audience? Okay, so I will make a motion to grant the variance of 37.9 feet where 40 feet is required at 2890 Boston Road with the stipulation that this project be built in substantial conformity to the plans submitted. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any more?
Yes, one more.
Oh my God, really, right now?
That's good.
Who stacked the deck here with them?
84 Arch, is that yours?
Correct.
Okay. So this is an application for a building permit to construct an addition that requires a variance for side yard setback of 5 feet.
Let me have that file.
5 feet where 12 feet is required, a front yard setback of 22.29 feet where 30 feet is required,
Big one.
and a rear yard setback of 22.4 feet where 30 feet is required at 84 Friends Road. So please again, state your name for the record and take us through a brief.
Okay. David Tetro, architect representing the Arch residents for addition and alteration to an existing house on Friends. What we're doing is we are adding a front porch, increasing the front area of the interior of the building. We're increasing the depth of the living room. Adding to the side of the house a bedroom and family room with a covered kind of porch veranda off the back. The house is situated, again, skewed but closer to the right property line, to the east property line, and unfortunately, we can't get the addition to work on the west side where there seems to be a little bit more room without completely screwing up the interior layout. So we're requesting a couple of variances here so that they can add a bedroom and a covered porch and front.
Dave, on the east side of the building, there's a deck,
Correct.
and is the addition gonna come out about the same distance as that deck?
It's gonna be close. I think
Yeah,
it might
it
be a
was-
little bigger than the deck.
It wasn't gonna be off by much.
No,
No,
no. And when I calculated it out, we're a little bit more than 5 feet to the property line. We're like 5.14 according to the site plan, but we're just asking for 5 because we don't have an accurate survey, so I'm just asking for a little extra wiggle room. That's why we're going straight for 5.
You're not asking for much, you could.
Yeah.
That's good.
So the deck goes away, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, so we're gonna actually kind of move the deck as a patio to the back of the addition and roof it over.
Roof, okay. So, what is next? I was there also, and it's like an empty lot next to the house? It's like,
Not,
or is that the neighbor?
not really.
The neighbor.
That's the neighbors? Okay.
There's no structure on that side, on the adjoining lot.
Yeah, it's,
Does this sit on 3 lots?
well, maybe if I had the, there's
What's
a
the
tax.
25 foot.
Mm-hmm.
They can find them. Get the memo. But
Yeah.
out in this area here,
Let me just read the memo first, and,
it's a kind of a back.
so I have a memo from Steve Frayetta, June 22nd.
They gotta get it.
Application for a building permit requesting variances for side yard setback of 5 where 12 is required, a rear yard of 22.4 where 30 is required. I thought there were a few more. I've inspected this property on June 22nd and found no violations and no objections to granting the relief.
Yeah, it looks like it's just,
So I'm looking at the tax map that, yes,
Just vacant.
it's a vacant
yeah.
lot next to, and I doubt that that's
Do we know
big
if it-
enough to build on.
Is it owned by the lot in front of it?
It might be. It might be. It
Probably.
looked like,
So
it looked
lot
like
I think
it was
there's a
joint
fence there.
five.
Yeah.
Yeah. This.
Usually they put a
Together.
little line on that lot.
Mm.
I'd have to read through these.
Let me see it.
Yeah, anyway. um, So let me ask if there's anyone in the audience that has anything about this application? Okay,
Yeah, they're both owned by the same person.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So,
So on the 5-foot setback where the variance is there a neighbor on that side where there's 5 feet?
I'm gonna show you
Yeah.
here, and this is the tax map,
Mm-hmm.
and the subject property is here, the
Mhm.
5-foot setback is this side.
Mm-hmm.
This is an empty lot,
Mm.
and this, so whatever, I forget the name of the street that's up here, but this house is situated fronting the cross street. So there's no house right next to this variance, and particularly not one that is cited the same way as it. So even if, and this is like a substandard empty lot, and it seems like it's owned by the same person here. Even if it were ever built, which is questionable as to whether it could because of the size, you know, I guess the person would choose which way to front it. But anyway, at the moment, and probably pretty much forever, there's no house abutting the side with.
Is there fencing there? Is there some sort of separation?
there
Or
might have been a
Yeah,
fence.
but it's,
is there trees, fencing, any?
it's just a
It's
post and
wooden,
rail fence,
yeah.
and it's trees, some overgrowth.
Okay.
And that property is actually just, it's a little higher in elevation than this property as well.
Yeah.
So as you're making it, there's a little retaining wall, stone retaining wall. I believe it's on, right, almost right on the property line, and then the grade kind of rises up a little bit to that property.
Okay.
So, just gonna see, it's 5 feet side, front of 22.9, so front is not really changing from the existing structure.
No.
So the existing house is 21.2 feet from the from the front property line.
Correct, but part of our addition is going
Yes.
into that, where we're not increasing that nonconformity, but
Right.
we are in the setback.
Pushing it back.
So, in terms of the front and the character of the neighborhood, that's already the character of the neighborhood. The properties are built with a smaller front yard, particularly this one. So now we have the rear, 22.4, where 30 feet is required. And that's only, is this, when you say patio, it's grade level, kind of concrete type thing with a
Correct.
roof?
Stone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts. I mean, I would say everything's pretty much fine. The rear, maybe we could argue that that's unnecessary. Why are why
There-
do they feel they need a covered patio back there?
Are there trees between the property lines or
There-
screening? or-
there's some growth along there, but not on the subject property that we're talking about. It's just what exists
between
on
the
the vacant lot. And just like a rough, I wouldn't even call it a hedge. There is some low planting along that line. And in terms of the back, let's see if we have a aerial shot of what's going on there. There's a couple of trees in the back, but there's no separation between the house, between the two houses, the subject house and then the house on the property directly behind it.
So I don't know.
Yep, yep. Wow. Nice
So basically,
picture.
this is that empty lot next door. Again, no one in the audience on this application. Anyone have any comments or major concerns about it? So the only thing I think that would even be debatable is that rear overhang.
What is the size of that porch?
That is, it comes off the back of the house 11 feet, and it is the same width as the house, so that's 18 feet wide by 11 feet out. And the addition kind of sticks out past the rear of the house by like 2 to 3 feet.
Okay.
So I will make a motion to grant this application for a side yard setback of 5 feet where 12 feet is required, a front yard setback of 22.29 feet where 30 feet is required, and a rear yard setback of 22.4 feet where 30 feet is required at 84 Friends Road, with the stipulation that the project be built in substantial conformity to the plans submitted, and that this variance only applies to the requested variance and not the remainder of the property lines. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Lloyd? This is an application for a building permit to construct an addition that requires a variance for a combined side yard setback of 34 feet, where 40 feet is required, at 2713 Larkspur Street. Can you just state your name for the record?
Matthew Lloyd.
Rebecca Lloyd.
Hi. Okay, so can you just briefly describe what you're doing? I guess a side addition?
Yeah, we're looking to add on a large family room for a family, and then as well as a master suite upstairs. And there'll be a bathroom on the first floor as well. We currently only have one bathroom in our home.
Okay, so I've seen additions in that area. It's kind of, I'm going to pull the picture, yeah. I wouldn't say a standard, but seem to be putting a
Yeah, it's pretty much our house street now.
Replicate what a lot of people have done.
Yeah.
It preserves the
common,
house and
common game
Yeah.
plan,
minimal
right?
modification to other parts of the property.
Right.
This is the house where you're giving up the garage.
Yeah, we're giving up the garage for this.
And now it's
Right.
coming back.
Expanding families, so that space is more important than tools.
You can always put the cars
I'll
in
be
the
back
back.
for a shed permit
Depends how
sometime
you're feeding,
after.
depends how you're feeding them.
I would, you may need the garage to put the kids in if they're,
Well, that's why I'll have the family room.
I've
Stick
done
them
that.
off to the side, close the door.
Anyway, see if there's any memos in here.
Let's see, do you?
Sticker on it.
I did see a memo.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, so I'm going to read this memo from Steve Frayetta, June 22nd. Application for a building permit for an addition requesting a variance of the combined side yard setback of 34 feet where 40 feet is required. I've inspected this property on June 22nd and found no violations and have no objections to granting the relief. A certificate of occupancy will be required upon completion of the project. Anybody in the audience have any comments on this application? So, as we were alluding to, most of us have visited or done a drive-by. That's what you're proposing is keeping in character with the neighborhood because it's similar to what many others have done in the neighborhood, and I think many has come to us for the same relief. So I will make a motion to grant the variance for a combined side yard setback of 34 feet where 40 is required at 2713 Larkspur Street, with the stipulation that the project be built in substantial conformity to the plans that have been submitted, and that this variance only applies to the requested variance and not the remainder of the property line. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's approved. Thank
Thank
you.
you
very
so
much.
much. Appreciate
Good
it.
luck.
That's by Mohanty School.
Uh,
It goes down
Ganaj?
Davis, Larkspur.
Oh, all right. This is a renewal, but we'll handle it. Yeah, since you're here, we'll definitely handle it. So this is a renewal for an accessory apartment at 124 Northmore Drive. If you want to just state your name for the record.
Just a correction on the address is 125.
Oh,
Sorry.
No problem.
so I guess you're the property owner.
Yes.
Going to read a memo from our building inspector. It's an application for renewal for the special permit for an accessory apartment. We inspected this property on June 22nd and found no violations, no objections to granting the relief. So, anyone in the audience have anything about this application? Comments?
3 years.
Okay. So I'm going to make a motion to grant the special use permit for a period of 3 years at 125 Northmore Drive. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Greco? This is an application for a building permit to construct an addition that requires a variance for a rear yard setback of 28.6 feet, where 30 feet is required, and maximum building lot coverage of 26%, where 20% is allowed. This is a cluster zone for Walden Woods that was approved with a reduced setback requirement of the R120 zone. A previous setback variance was granted in 1996, and this is all at 3040 Douglas Drive, 3040 Douglas Drive. Could you just state your name for the record?
Hello, how you doing?
Good.
Kevin McSpadden from Dream Home Creators. We're here representing our client, Lauren Greco, to construct this project. Basically, what we're trying to do is put a two-car garage on the left side of the house right now. There's an existing one car on the right side that's going to get eliminated, and we're going to do a primary bedroom on top of the garage we're building, and other renovations throughout the house.
So,
I think
Yeah.
it encroaches kind of
just,
small.
yeah. So when they did the cluster, I don't know if you would know the answer to this, but
Yeah.
are the lots like smaller? And so it's an
Yes.
R120 and it's an 11,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
They
part of the
reduced-
cluster development, you reduce the size of the lot.
And
and
also
then
the
there's open
setbacks.
space somewhere that keeps the density.
countryside.
Yeah, like countryside. Okay. Let me read the memo for this. Is there
Let's see, there you go.
the memo?
The
Maybe
memo.
there's more memos.
No, just one.
A memo from Steve Frayetta, June 22nd. This is an application for a building permit to construct an addition, which the owner is seeking variances for a rear yard setback of 28 feet 6 inches, where 30 feet is required, and a maximum building coverage of 26%, where 20% is allowed. This is a clustered zone for Walden Woods that was approved with a reduced setback requirement of the R120 zone. A previous setback variance was approved. I've inspected this property on June 22nd and found no apparent violations. I have no objections to granting the relief. Anyone from the audience have any comments on this application? Anyone from the board have any comments on it? So I don't know if kind of
Ye-
the newer members here, these cluster developments, it's an R120 zone, but the lot size is only 11,000 square feet. But there's some open space somewhere that
Community space somewhere that-
allows
yep.
the density to remain what it would be on 11, on a R120 subdivision. So given that, the 20 and 26% comes into play because the lot is like smaller,
Of course, it's not gonna.
than,
yeah. So I have a question. The existing garage, you're taking that down?
Yeah,
And
that's
how many
gonna be,
square feet is that roughly?
it's approximately 15 by 15.
And are you gonna
Rough
put
numbers.
anything else there, or it's
Yeah,
gonna stay
so-
open?
So that's going to be converted into livable space.
Oh, so that's livable, and you're building on the other side?
Yeah, so we're relocating the garage on the other side, a bigger garage. It's a small.
But where you're removing that one's part of the extension?
No,
Is
no,
that gonna
that's
be
not,
open space now?
that's on the opposite side of the house where the existing garage is, where we're closing that up, making that livable space. And we're
Oh,
building a
okay,
new
okay.
garage on the left side of the house, which is going to be a 2-car garage with a primary bedroom on top of that garage.
Okay.
There was some crawl space on the drawing.
Yeah,
Is that crawl space gonna be elevated as well, or?
we're going to try to keep it level to the new the addition we're making. That crawl space was an addition, I think, many years ago that they built, and that's currently a bedroom right now, and that's going to be all converted into a new kitchen. We're trying to put all the bedrooms upstairs, so that way she has more room on the first floor.
Thank you.
any comments or objections? So I will make a motion to grant the variances for a rear yard setback of 28.6 feet where 30 feet is required, and a maximum building lot coverage of 26% where 20% is allowed at 3040 Douglas Drive. with the stipulation that the plans be, that the project be built in substantial conformity to the plans submitted, and that the variance only applies to the requested variance and not the remainder of the property line. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank
It's
you.
granted.
Have a good night.
Lazo/Ochoa? This is an application for a special use permit to allow a chicken coop. The applicant is also seeking an area variance to allow the chicken coop on a lot size of 19,851 square feet, where 40,000 square feet is required per the zoning code at 2870 Foxhall Road. Can you just state your name for the record?
Good afternoon. My name is Daisy Lazo.
Okay. So, I think there's a plan up here, and I was at the property, and I think the rest of the board was too. Your property fronts two streets, Foxhall and Morris, I think. So your rear yard is kind of more by Morris, I guess. It's very obvious in the picture, but I could see the yellow highlighted areas where you have the chicken
Yes.
coop now.
Yes.
And is that
It's only 3 chickens.
what?
This is only 3 chickens.
3 chickens? No roosters, right? No roosters?
No.
Okay.
Now, that's the capacity of the chicken coop is 3 chickens. You can't get any more in there?
I'm
Three
sorry.
is the
I
most?
can speak a lot English,
It's
but
okay.
that's why my son, he can translate for me. I'm so sorry
Can
for
it
that.
only fit 3 chickens? Or you can fit more chickens?
Dile que solamente solo son 3, que por favor.
It's only 3, thank you. So only 3.
Okay.
It's only 3 chickens,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I don't have plans to have more. Just only 3, but we had before in Peekskill, and I bring with me the 3 chickens. We recently, about 7 months ago, we moved it, and that's the chickens is for my little sons, and that's why I want to have in my house. It's possible, please.
Okay, so I'm going to read a few memos for a minute.
Here's the memo.
We have a
I
building.
know.
There's a building memo right here.
Let me
Start with
see.
that one.
What is this? So this
That's a
is
decision.
previous
That's a
variance.
different place.
Yeah.
You guys approved
It's a.
that was approved on a small lot.
So I have a memo from our building inspector, Steve, who sitting there, who probably came by your house a few days ago. This is an application for a variance to allow a chicken coop on a lot of 20,000 square feet where 40,000 square feet is required. I've inspected this property on June 22nd and found no apparent violations. The chicken coop, the ZBA granted a front yard variance at 1770 Morris Lane that is diagonally across the street. Previous variances for lot size similar to this property have been granted. I have no objections to granting the relief. Just want to organize these now. I'll ask if there's anyone in the audience first, and so why don't you come up to the podium? Why don't you guys just step back a little and let your neighbor have a few words? So just please state your name for the
Yes,
record.
good evening, Anthony Buck, 2862 Foxhall Street. You guys have down Foxhall Road as Foxhall Street,
Okay,
so,
sorry about that. Howie Buck, is that?
Howard Anthony Buck, yeah.
Go ahead.
So, I received a letter a few weeks ago, in regards to this, chicken coop, and it stated that, in order to have a chicken coop, you need 40,000 square feet.
Mhm.
They only have 19 point whatever. And every house kind of on the street is kind of the same. Myself and a bunch of neighbors are not on board with this. It's changing the character of the neighborhood. I feel that and we all feel that it's gonna depreciate our houses. It's gonna attract coyotes, bobcats, field rats, mice. I know a few people who live around chicken coops, and they've had multiple problems with like field rats burrowing and stuff like that. So, yeah, you received a few emails from other people on the block, I believe, so.
Have you seen like coyotes and foxes and stuff in the neighborhood?
Once in a while, but we have a preserve behind us, and I hear them at night. Like, it's 500 feet from us. It's a dog park, too.
Oh, yeah, that's where the dog
And
park is?
And it's gonna
Okay.
attract, it's, you know, they're close already, you know what I mean? The people in the neighborhood have small children, small dogs. You know, it's changing the character of the neighborhood, and, you know, everybody's house, I don't know, is gonna depreciate. It's changing the whole character, but mainly, you know, coyotes and bobcats. We had a bobcat last year in our yard for about a week or two, and, you know,
The foxes too.
yeah,
The foxes.
on and off, yeah. They don't usually attack.
Was there a coop there that was removed and a new one put in its
I
place?
have never before, but the previous owner,
Okay.
I don't know.
Is this a new coop? It's a new coop?
Now, there's other coops in the neighborhood, on that street too, correct?
I don't know.
Yes,
No.
there is.
Yeah, I think we saw two when we were doing
Oh, really?
the
Wow.
two
There's one
additional.
across the street that we granted
Yeah,
a while ago.
okay.
Do you hear them? Hear roosters or anything?
Once in a while, yeah.
Okay, so I do have a few other emails from,
Right. Right.
anyone else on this one?
These are some of the emails.
So let me read a few neighbors'
Sure.
emails, and, you know, you can have a seat, yeah. So I have one from John Daniel. It's a series of emails in a way, but, you know, the background is there were some objections, but the latest email he has is, this is an update. I spoke with the neighbors and they removed the chicken coop that I previously sent pictures of. They have since put up a smaller coop in the same general area. Since the original coop has been removed, the photos I previously provided can be removed. I do not, as they are no longer applicable. I do not have any issue with the smaller coop, provided it complies with all applicable setback requirements and is located the required legal distance from the property line. One more here, or at least. let's see. I think that's part of this. Yeah. Sorry. This one is from Brian and Katie Chan Chi. Hello, Yorktown Zoning Board. I have received notice of the chicken coop being placed in my neighborhood. If the property in question had a bigger yard, it would not bother us so much. Also, there has been an increase in coyotes in the area, and this coop will bring rats and other problems. We are not inclined to have the chicken coop in the area. Please count us as against the chicken coop. So regarding those concerns, so we have pictures here.
Those
I
are
don't-
Old one. The
Yeah.
old-
Those
Well-
are old.
Those are the, she replaced that,
Okay.
Those are no good.
so it doesn't look like that anymore.
So I guess what we have to do, you know, even though this is an old picture, it has a picture of the feed being put in a plastic container.
Right.
And, you know, so we have the variance and we have the special permit. The special permit has rules and regulations in place to keep the food, you know, protected, waste management plan. So I don't know if any of that's in the folder.
Is that picture the old coop or is that the new coop?
This is the old one.
Is there pictures of the new coop?
No.
Is there a submission of a type or a, what is
Steve
it being
went out
used
there.
at? I mean, somebody emails indicate that it looks like a homeless tent.
That's the old one, but she replaced it.
Oh, is that the old one? Okay.
That is the old.
That's the old one, okay.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve Frietta, Assistant Building Inspector. I visited the property about a week ago, and that structure has been removed. And they have a professional-looking, brand-new
Mhm.
chicken coop there.
Rather
I don't know if it was there. It is much smaller than what that is, yeah, by far. but it's a much smaller, and it looks like they'd only had 3 chickens in it when I was there.
Is there a waste management plan submitted with this?
It's here.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yep. It's in here.
So I'm going to go through in our code.
Yeah.
what- Another.
No.
Oh, this is, okay. So I have a response from Jose, is that?
Yeah, he's my husband.
Yes. So the chicken coop will be located 30 feet from the road and 30 feet from the neighboring property line. The coop will be screened from neighboring property by current landscaping in the road and both new and existing landscaping. The remediation plan for chicken waste includes the deep litter method inside the hen house to promote natural composting, 3-bin composting method to manage waste, and used litter being removed from the hen house. Composted chicken litter will then be used to fertilize plants on the property. The measures being taken to discourage and deter rodents include the following: the use of rodent-proof chicken food storage containers made of high-density plastic, the use of rodent-proof chicken feeders to prevent ready access of chicken food from all animals other than chickens. And again, that's from Jose Quishpi. I can't pronounce
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
close. Okay, again, and that's a property owner.
What's the reason?
Say again.
Reason for the chickens?
Yeah, so what's the reason that you want the chickens? Any comments on why we have chickens?
But we have when there's a little ones, this is a present for my son. And then, that he's growing the chickens and he don't want to lose his chicken. That's why.
So they're pets more,
There's something about the chicken.
The chickens, I like them picking up their.
Can you get closer to the mic? That would be great. You're going to be on national television here. YouTube.
I just like to pick up the chicken eggs and to just bring them to my mom and feed them. I like animals. I like to feed animals. I like the chickens are good. I like the chickens. I pick the eggs. I pick everything.
Who cleans up?
I clean.
Who does the cleanup?
Me and my dad. We help together, and sometimes my little brother comes to help.
so you're consuming the eggs, and then additionally they're pets.
Eating that.
Do they have a covered area? I mean, how do they,
Be arranged.
are they roaming around the yard, or they have a covered spot?
No, they have a little cover so they don't escape around.
They don't run around at all, right?
No.
Okay. I understand the concern of the neighbors. I understand it's a significant difference in required square footage as opposed to what's actual. And just from previous experience, they do attract vermin. Chickens. Everybody likes chicken. Foxes, hawks, coyotes, bobcats. So it can become a nuisance, especially on a smaller lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's an email here on May 12th. I don't know if it's the old coop.
Yeah, I think
Thanks so much. Sorry to keep sending you updates. They now moved the coop, but now the chickens are facing towards our direction. Is this allowed? If so, can they have the trees or something go around it so we don't have to see it?
So I think that's from
That's been eliminated.
the app.
That was the old.
I read
Old,
the final memo and where that person felt everything was.
The fence that you have on the property, was that a recent?
The white
recent addition?
fence.
Yes.
There's a white
Got a permit
fence.
for it, yes.
Yeah, that's your fence.
Yes.
The white fence.
Yes.
When did that go up?
Like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
3 months ago?
There was a violation for it. She filed for the permit for the fence and it was approved.
Yeah, I mean the
So
fence
she-
provides a lot of screening, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I put the pants because I find a lot of ticks in my dog and his body too. But that's why I'm scared for my little kids. I have 3 little kids in my house. And the ticks is it's bad for the kids. That's why I try to cover.
So, when I think about this whole application, a couple things kind of come to mind. I think, but for the lot size, everything is in 100% compliance to the zoning code. And the concerns that have been expressed are, the zoning code intends to mitigate those concerns with the required waste management plan and the requirements about food storage. In terms of any kind of visual impact to the neighborhood, we have screening, which is required, and it is also there. There's a fence. I mean, I went by and I had trouble finding the chicken coop. It took me a little bit of time. We're also only talking about 3 chickens, and we can also limit the permit to 3 chickens. So, we also, within the code, explicitly states that the ZBA has the ability, under this zoning amendment that was done a few years ago, 2014, the town board in that time specifically talked about allowing the ZBA to provide variances for the 40,000 square feet requirement. And we have done that. We've done that on Morris, actually, and we've done it in other places. So I don't know if so we asked for comments, so there's no more on this one, so I don't know if the board, sure.
So in regards to it being 40,000.
Come up.
You gotta come up to the mic.
Thank you.
So what's the reason, like, it's gotta be 40,000 square feet to have 1, 3, 5 chickens, and it's less than 20? What's the reason behind having 40,000 square feet? To enable
yeah.
a chicken coop?
I mean, I wasn't part of the drafting of the law, so I don't know why they came up with that exactly.
I mean, a rule's a rule, a law's a law, right?
Yeah, well, the reason that we exist is to provide variances for these
No, I
these
understand.
types of requirements. So a law is a law. However, the empowerment and authorization of the zoning board of appeals to vary those requirements is also a law too.
Yeah.
So anyhow, anyone on the board have any?
Is this would be granted for a period of 1 year,
Well,
and
the
then how does?
So the permit's a year. The permit would be a year, so that the applicant would have to come back and hear feedback from the public or neighbors. How is this performing compared to,
I mean, I would imagine the reason it's 40,000 square feet, because it's wider and it's less, you don't hear the noise, you don't smell, it's less than half.
Of where the property's situated, of the neighbors that are around our property, how many of them are objecting to it? Would you say?
So,
that property's there surrounded by.
you got a house directly behind it. I believe that's the guy, John, I don't know the
John,
name.
yeah.
Did he submit a letter?
Yeah,
or-
that's
his
the letter.
email.
That's one of
Yeah,
them.
But he
that's,
withdrew
And
the
there's
objection.
the Finnegans, which are across the street, and then there's like another house, and then there's another house to the right of John, and then myself, and I have a neighbor to the right of me.
So let's say that's 5 neighbors.
I'd say 5 neighbors.
Out of the 5 neighbors, how many of them are objecting to the coop?
There's, let's see, 1, 2, got 4.
4 out of 5.
We've received emails and memos from how many?
We have Mr. Buck sent a few emails. I didn't read them because they basically stated your same points.
Who's the one that doesn't have an objection anymore?
That was
was
John.
His
John
objection
John
was
Daniel.
to the original
John Daniel.
coop, which he withdrew when they went with a smaller
One
coop.
right behind them. He was.
He's the one that's closest to them, so he
Okay.
doesn't have an objection.
Yeah, and there was one other memo, but the person didn't say where they lived.
Right.
So it seemed like what I would consider like a generic objection, because, you know, when we're here, all these things about rodents and whatnot, I mean, you know, the law was passed and trying to protect against all those things, and I don't think the lot size has anything to do with whether you're going to get rodents or coyotes. I think what one of the major considerations on the lot size is how, you know, forget about coyotes and all this, but how well is the project screened from the neighbors and how hidden is the project? And, you know, I think on this particular lot, the screening is pretty good. The coop is rather small, and 3 chickens is a small number. That's my opinion. I don't know if anyone has any
Well,
other opinions.
The
than
other
that?
reason why they limit it to a year in the first instance, because typically special permits are granted for 3 years. In this particular case, it's only granted for a year because we want to make sure, one, that it doesn't affect the surrounding properties in any adverse way, and secondly, that they are maintaining it in accordance with the regulation. So that typically what happens in the first analysis, the first application, which this is, we only grant it for a year, and they have to come back. So that at the end of the day, the applicant is then reviewed in terms of what he basically presented to us in the beginning. We get a chance to talk to possibly the neighbors to see if there was any adverse effects in that 1 year. And if we consider all of those things and it becomes a real issue or a problem, then we have the right then to say, no, we can't continue it. So that's really why we're here for this one. Yeah. Well, one of the things that we did notice was the fact that because there is now a fence around the property, and also because of the location of this new coop and the size of it, there really wasn't, like John said, we had a tough time finding it within the outside properties. You go on the property and yes, you can see it, but in the surrounding area, it's difficult to pick up.
I've got a question on the application. If we grant the variance on the 40,000 square feet, the permit is granted for 1 year, subject to a review, but do we revisit the variance at that point, or the variance is set?
The variance is basically, I believe, kind of associated with the special permit. And if the special permit, if that particular special permit is no longer valid, then what's valid about the variance?
Why do you need the variance? Yeah, so it's going to be revisited.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, the variance will exist, but it's like a purposeless.
That's right.
You know, I mean, the permit is what will have or not have this in the future. You know, if you have no permit, the variance.
Variance lives and dies on the granting of or not
Right.
granting of the permit.
It's specific to the use.
So, you know, we have 5 factors that we consider with our zoning deliberations. One is whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created, granting the variance. Whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. The answer to that is no. Whether the requested area variance is substantial, that's something we have to discuss. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood, and whether the difficulty was self-created. And self-created is relevant, but not necessarily preclude to granting the variance. So when I look at the factors, you know, whether the applicant cannot attain this without a variance. So that's one factor. whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect on the impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. I mean, I think that what I saw does not have an impact any different from today or any other chicken coop that I've seen in this town. Any thoughts on that?
No.
And whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood. Again, this is my opinion, but we have granted other chicken coops in that specific neighborhood. So to say that this, this factor is an undesirable change, we've done the same thing right across this, close by. So it's hard to say that this one would suddenly change the character of the neighborhood.
I have one more question for the
Sure,
applicant.
go ahead.
These are all hens, no roosters?
No, not roosters.
No roosters.
So I will make a motion here, unless, I will make a motion to, grant the variance to allow a chicken coop on a lot size of 19,851 square feet, where 40,000 square feet is required. And in addition, to grant the special permit for the keeping of a maximum of 3 chickens for a period of 1 year at 2870 Foxhall Road. Do I have Foxhall Street? Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Nay?
Nay.
Aye.
Anthony? Aye. Okay. You were aye?
Yeah.
And I am aye. So your application has been approved.
Oh, thanks
by
God,
the
and
board.
thank you so much.
welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Take good care of your chickens and make sure they don't run away.
We'll see you next year.
Newman, that's an accessory renewal will go.
Yeah.
Yorktown Farm Estates.
We can get to you, carry it on.
This is an applicant is seeking a variance from an approved 1996 planning board site plan for 79 total units with a floor area ratio of 1.99 to increase the total floor area ratio to 2.07, to add 4 additional units for a total of 83 at 1870 Baldwin Road. Good evening, and if you could state your name for the record, or whoever's going to speak.
Good evening, Joseph Rena, Principal Site Design Consultants. This evening, I'm representing Westchester Management LLC, the Bergman family. They're all here with us tonight. It's a family-owned business. The Bergmans purchased what is known as York Farm Estates 1 year ago. York Farm Estates is a rental apartment complex. It was approved in 1996 for 79 units. The Bergmans purchased it, and it has 83 units. Only to realize 4 of the units did not have a CO. So that brought us to the point where we needed to get an amended site plan approval from the planning board. And it also requires a zoning variance because the FAR, we're over the FAR, where .2 is required, we're at .207.
And what is that specifically, the floor area ratio?
The floor area ratio, correct.
To the land?
Correct,
Its
to the
coverage
net,
of the land?
to the net lot area, which deducts
So
wetlands
it's a
and buffer.
footprint of each it's not the square footage of an apartment, it's a
It's
footprint.
the livable, usable square footage of each
Usable square
apartment.
foot.
Square foot.
Okay. And
Correct.
these are multi-story buildings, I
They're
guess?
2 stories.
Stories.
So, once they found out that this was an issue, we've been working with them for about 9 months on this. They contacted the building department only to find out that no COs existed on these 4 units.
So I assume you're working through the COs. Do you have to pull permits, just a building
Well,
permit for it, or?
in order to get to that step, we need to get the amended site plan approval.
Okay.
That's what we're working on now. Once they determined that they understood this situation, they vacated the apartments. The apartments are empty.
Just Jacob Bergman for York Farm Estates. When we purchased the property a year ago, we asked the seller to deliver those units vacant.
Okay.
So those were previously occupied, and we own a lot of properties in Westchester, and to have 4 units where people are illegally occupying it isn't something we're interested in. So
Okay.
we wanted to do it the right way.
So go ahead. I have a memo from planning
Yeah.
if you
So
want.
in 2002, there was an attempt made to legalize those units. And there is some record in the planning department files, but it just went cold at that point. We don't know what happened from there forward. And the additional units became available, or possibility, because of sewers.
Sewers were put in, okay. So I'll read a memo from our planning department here, dated May 26th, from Robin Steinberg. The planning board is currently reviewing an amended site plan application to legalize 4 units in the development that were constructed inside the existing buildings by the previous property owner, but never received certificates of occupancy because only 79 units were approved on the last approved site plan. The 4 additional units will bring the floor area ratio up to 0.207, where 0.20 is the maximum permitted in the R3 zone. The planning board toured the 4 units and determined that the addition of the units would not have an adverse impact on the existing community. The site also provides the required parking for 83 units based on the current parking requirement of 1.5 spaces per unit. In addition, these 4 units, consisting of 1 studio and 3 one-bedroom rental apartments, would contribute to the diversity of housing available in Yorktown. Therefore, the planning board refers this application to the zoning board of appeals for review and recommends its approval.
Joe, wasn't there something about Section 8 and senior housing?
So as part of for our understanding, as part of the 1996 initial consideration to certify this, there was a discussion about 10 affordable units, 5 Section 8 and 5 senior housing. For whatever reason, it fell to the wayside at that point. However, first of all, we love this town. We love working with this town. So as a courtesy, we've told the housing board, we worked with the housing board and the planning board that we are more than willing to set that up. And in fact, we're working towards that. So there will be, as part of this plan, 5 Section 8 units and 5 affordable units. And we're at the final stages with the housing board. So when this gets referred back to the planning board, by that time, we're going to have it all buttoned up. But
Okay.
we're willing to put that together and support that.
Mm-hmm. So I also have a memo from our building inspector, Steve, dated June 23rd, 2026. It's an application to legalize an additional 4 apartments on the previous built with the original approval of 79 units with the floor area ratio of 0.199, where 2.2 is permitted in the R3 zone, to 83 units with the floor area ratio of 0.207. This property is in the R3. I have no objections to granting the variance to legalize the additional apartments. A building permit and certificate of occupancy will be required upon completion. Okay. Do I have any comments from the audience about this application?
Is the only specific item the land use?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Any other items will be handled by the building department or
the plan, so you still have to get planning approval, I assume? Or
Yeah, we have a
seems like
public
you don't?
hearing for that on Monday night.
All right.
So we were hoping to get a decision from all of you
does
tonight.
one go before the other?
Typically, we do wait for the planning board. However, in the case like this, it's pretty straightforward, and they're not talking about putting more units that don't exist or something like that.
There already.
You know, they're basically saying, go ahead and approve this because they don't see any impacts, and you know, they're signaling to us that any issues that they have regarding this expansion, they will be worked out. So whether they get a full site plan approval from the planning board, that's outside of our scope and not in my control. But I think we're pretty solidly safe to grant the variance in a case like this. Any other any objections to anything?
You knew
So-
this when you bought the property? You found it in title search or something? How did-
During our due diligence, I mean, just to kind of walk you down, I literally went and counted every door because it was sort of complicated. The family had owned it or built it. I think Bill was involved. So they owned it from the beginning, and it didn't make sense. So once we counted doors, we realized, and these units, these 4 units, look nearly identical to other ground floor units. So it was really hard to decipher at first which units were not the legal ones. And so then at that point, we figured it out, and then we asked the seller, please, these 4 units, deliver them vacant when we buy it. And that's what they did a year ago.
Were you able to confirm what they may have been used previously for non-residential uses?
That I don't know.
You
That I
know,
don't
you
know.
don't,
But I
I'm
do
saying
know that
maybe that's
people
how
were-
they got missed.
Perhaps, but they were, people were living there when we viewed the units.
And you knew those were the units by just,
Yeah, later on, we figured it out. Oh, I'm sorry, this is
Hi,
my
how
brother,
are you?
Jeff. He's our legal counsel.
Jeff
He is
Burgundy.
moving into his house today,
Yeah,
so.
excuse the attire. To comment on that, just one point of clarification. It was the 2002 site plan that approved the 79 units, and where discussion of the 10 affordable units was had. What I believe happened is that during that discussion, when they proposed to, legalize the 83 units, which was discussed at some point, I believe it just went to the wayside, and they already had these units built, and so I think they just rented them because there was no affordable component to it anymore, because it kind of just went to the wayside. So I think it was just kind of, they were just letting everybody sleep on it, and kind of going forward in that
so
fashion.
you
But
guys are voluntarily reintroducing the
we are
5
yes.
and 5?
Yeah, which is why there's 2 reasons I believe the planning board is supporting this. I believe one is that we're bringing this affordable component back to the community over there. Number 2 is the character of these apartments, right? They're small. One of them is a studio. 3 of them are small 1-bedrooms. There's just not a lot of that in Yorktown. And so I think that they find that important to increase the character of that thing. They are updated. I mean, we'll have to get building department permits to get it all confirmed. But yeah, they're actually pretty new and nice looking. Yeah, Tony and Bill toured it, and they are nice apartments.
Okay, so I will make a motion to grant the variance at 1870 Baldwin Road to increase the floor area ratio of 2.0, increase the total floor area ratio to 2.07.
0.207.
Yes, I'm sorry. Let me scrap what I just said. Let me make a motion to grant the variance to increase the total floor area ratio to 0.207, where 0.2 is allowed at 1870 Baldwin Road. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thanks very much.
you're welcome.
What's the size of the lot, by the way?
Thank you very
The-
much.
The overall acreage,
You're
it's almost 8 acres, it's just under 8 acres.
Yeah, it's
Thank
All
you.
right.
Tony, best of luck.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I think we have a few renewals here.
Oh, you should have asked those first.
Which one? Maldonado?
Montenegro?
It's a renewal.
I'm sorry, I skipped.
Mine, here, this one.
Montenegro.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were here. I would have called you up sooner. I
It's okay.
greatly apologize for that.
I'm just representing Mr. Montenegro
Okay.
today.
So this is an application for a renewal of a special use permit for a chicken coop at 3388 Old Yorktown Road, correct? Okay, so if you want to just state your name for the record and.
Joaquina Gray.
So I think this has already been approved in the past, so this is a renewal.
This is for Montenegro. Okay,
Yeah, 3338.
gotcha.
Okay.
We're good.
So, is there anyone else that has, okay. So, have there been any issues with regarding any situations?
Not that I know of. No.
Nobody's here to
So I have a
complain.
memo from our building inspector. He came by to visit. This application's requesting a renewal of a special permit for a chicken coop. I've inspected this property on June 18th and have no objections to granting the renewal. So I will make a motion to grant the renewal for the special use permit for a chicken coop at 3388 Old Yorktown Road
3 years.
for a period of
Yep.
3 years.
I have a question.
Sure.
Are you changing the chicken coop? Is there any more chickens? Are you changing the number of chickens that you have?
Not that I know of for them.
Do you know what it was approved for?
So we don't generally approve a number of chickens. That's in the code as to how
Okay.
many are allowed.
Mm-hmm.
I did it in the other case only because there was a little bit of
Yeah,
contention and they were stipulating 3 chickens, so I figured I would limit it.
Right.
But the code allows a certain number, I forget what it is. So last time they proved to us they were in compliance with all of the code requirements, and
we've
this
got-
time we have nobody stating that they're not. So what I'll do is make the motion to grant the renewal at the chicken coop at 3388 Old Yorktown Road for a period of 3 years. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so
Thank
it's
you.
approved for 3 years this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry for the wait.
You have one more?
I think I have one more renewal, right?
Yes.
Machete?
Rossetti?
Newman, too.
And Newman.
And Newman, yes.
Harishadi.
Let me
So-
have this folder.
This is a renewal of an accessory apartment at 1331 Ed Chris Road. Anyone in the
That's
audience
that
have
one.
any comments? No? I have a memo from Steve Frayetta. This is an application for a renewal of an accessory apartment. Inspected the property, found no violations, no objections to granting the renewal. So I'll make a motion to grant the renewal of the special permit at 1344 Ed Chris Road for a period of 3 years. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And you have one.
Newman.
Newman. This is an application for a renewal of an accessory apartment at 388 London Road. Building memo from Steve Frayetta. Application for the renewal. I have inspected the property and found no violations, no objections. Motion to approve grant the renewal of the accessory apartment for a period of 3 years at 388 London Road. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that believe is the end of our agenda. So I will make a motion to close the meeting. I'll close the meeting and wish everybody a happy Independence Day.
Mhm.
God bless America.